Ready, going at the sound of the tone. All right, deep breath, here we go. Put a bend and move it in, leads us out. Although pressured early on by Rifkin, starting from that number 2 position. Third place, Mason Fuller is in the orange. TLR out front. Let's go to Ben. Multi-time national champion. So into that one section there, kind of like a 4-pack. Leads away a little bit. And down the line for the first lap. And Rifkin, Mason Fuller, testing, you win. Check this out. The first all the way down to 7, everybody's still in the same order. And one phone went off. So a top shelf, that right orange to blue, yellow rim, black ring. Go to Ben, leads the way. Top three covered by, say, a second, maybe 9 minutes left. Rifkin, slide it up wide a little bit, blue stuff. And that's going to put Mason Fuller right there. So it's going to be TLR associated there in the 2 spot with Rifkin. Mason Fuller needs to be racing machine. Blue deeper. Makes the turn to the left side. Oh, Fuller a little bit wide right there on increase. Off the step. To the front side double we go. Little battle developing right there for a second. That's the second time that Fuller's got close to the back for us. Spencer Rifkin. Rifkin out of Arizona. Mason out of Urbandale, Iowa, and he rolls it over. He needs marshal help. He's still going to be third. He's going to fall back now. We go to Ben. Lead the way, 35-4. Rifkin, 36-6. So KC Mason. Without the mistake there. Brandon Rose, 35-8. And then Mayfield now 6. Testament from 4 to 7. And Damon Lutz, Tilly. Figueredo, Cavalieri, Contreras, Contact, One Horse, and Tebow. Here's 16. 2:15 minutes, up 45 remaining. Dakota Ben. Oh, and Dakota catches an edge. Headed up that hill and then making a right turn and threaded up there and he caught the inside pipe. Went up on 2 wheels with a bicycle maneuver. Got completely off the gas, let that car settle. But it did not look like it was going to end up on the wheel. It was like it was going to roll right over. But luck on inside for that one. He gave up some time though, and Rifkin now right there with him. Like we missed the lap on Rifkin.
Minutes left.
So Ben and Rifkin, top 2 right there. Mason Fuller, Brandon Rose, team on the way. J-Concept rubber on the bottom of both those cars there. Third place, Mason Fuller, 35-2 that time by. A fast lap overall for Mason Fuller. With that big mistake, going upside down out of the books about 3 laps ago. Making a little time. Fans 35 flat, great lap there, new fast lap overall. Rifkin 35-5, 35-4-4. Top 3, to the left side, Belgium. Down the step. Orange thrown into blue. Yellow rims, black lane with orange decals on there. That is Dakota Ben.
6 minutes left.
One of the top drivers in the world. And a qualifying master. I don't know if anybody's TQ'd as many pro classes over the last 5 years as Dakota. Ben keeps it tight on that inside pipe there. Then left-handed sweeper. And no problem there. Rifkin, nice little run up on that backside. You can see kind of pulled right there. And he is on the back board. Trying to pressure. One to go to Ben. Then the TLR associated right there of Rifkin. The 2 American powerhouse brands. Down to one side, Fran 35-5, 35-4, Rifkin just a tenth better. Mason 35-2. That is Mason's quick lap. Behind the top three, Brandon Rose, 4-3 back, 4 back, and 1 minute left. Killing there, 3 tenths back. Now things get tight. I can hear the crowd, so I look up on the computer. Find out where the action's happening. It's coming down the hill there, to the corkscrew. Upside down, needs martial help to go to down second. And Mason. Now going to be looking on the back door on second place there. Down the front, Rifkin, 36 flat. Rifkin in that, it's kind of white, blue, and purple. Signature colors for Rifkin. A lot of these guys using the outside line there through that out on the front left. So it's smoother there than on the inside and try and cut that corner back. Rifkin with white rims, black wing, starting second here. Rifkin 35-7, 35-1, picks up 6 tenths, 4.3. Top three only covered by 1.9 seconds on the clock. We've got 3:50 remaining. So there is a lot of time by the time this is all said and done. We'll have 3 cars coming by a blanket and fighting to the line when time expires. We can only wait and see. But either way, watching these cars go around this track the way that these pro guys can do it is absolutely unbelievable. Watching front side. Rifkin now looks like Dakota right there, rides it up on the edge again. And saves it. Everybody goes up in their seat that time. Down the back side they go. Rifkin down the wide line. Dakota a little bit further inside. So I think that Dakota had the inside position right there. I'm not going to fold into that. I think Dakota had the inside position right there out of that lander. Driving RC cars is hard. Down the front side they go again. Van, Ford, and then Rifkin. Van and TLR, Mason Ford. Remember, he had that big mistake. He fell way back. At points like that, you kind of maybe feel watching the race like he's out of contention. But these pro guys, they can lay it down for 7 minutes straight. And now he turns it around unbelievably. He's right there, looking at the pressure, and maybe make a pass on Dakota. And the back end just comes around right into the pipe there on that 1E after the front double. 2:15 remaining, 2:15. Dakota Van, 36 flat, 35-5, Rifkin, 1 second behind. Mason Ford, another 2.3 back, Brandon Rose, number 1.5. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining, 2 minutes left. Dakota, in the front side double, making a turn with Rifkin right there. Standing in, your TQ, and the orange and blue with yellow rims. Coming down the hill, makes a turn. I used to see most guys going double into that blue section, but I haven't really seen it in this race. I haven't been on the track today, so I don't know what it feels like out there. Dakota Fair, 35 flat, 34.8 for Rifkin, and a 34.9 for Fuller. Oh, and Rifkin gets to the inside pipe, a little mile there. I think that's really coming down the hill. 120 remaining. Fan stretching that lead a little bit with the 8 tenths of the line. I think it's through, but then in that top section, that Rifkin keep him up. Big contest. Lead the way here, one of our premier sponsors of this 2023 Silver State Indoor Championship. Juanita Serrona. Cheering on his team, using the bids constantly, helping out with setup and things. Oh, and then going to the front side down. Saves himself, and now he's outside, he gets speeded back through. Makes the outside pass to get back through. Leads the way to his front level. Makes the turn with 45 to go. Hits the pipe again. These guys are trying to hit every corner right on the inside. And on this lap here, and 3 times they actually did touch that inside pipe. There's another one right there from Rifkin. So here we go at the line, 27 to go. It's going to be the last lap. Van, Rifkin, Fuller, all separated by 2.2. Dakota Fan was your team view of the TLR. The orange and blue makes that left side. Double with the backside, and then Ripken really sends it up there. To the front side double. Both of my top two and the top three get to that section. Now to the tabletop. 5 seconds, 4. They're racing to the line. Down to the corkscrew. Into the whoop section. For the final time here, Dakota Fenn versus Tito with TLR, J Concepts. Is he going to the line? 35-6 right there. Opening Dakota Fenn with TLR 17.6.
All right. We are here with Dakota Fenn after the Pro E-Buggy A main here at the 2023 Silver State Nitro Challenge. You are the champion of E-Buggy. How was the race? Obviously, kind of two halves of the race, the first half and the second half. How did it go from the start?
Yeah, I got a good start. Spencer had really good speed from the beginning, so kind of just pacing each other in the beginning, taking our time. For some reason, 10 minutes feels like a really long time for E-Buggy. Even we're doing those 45-minute mains in Nitro, but 10 minutes electric feels like a long time out there. So yeah, I got a good start, and I didn't really have anything too crazy go on the first probably 3 or 4 minutes, and then kind of just had a couple small bobbles here and there. Went with a little bit harder tire, went with the blue compound that time, which I think was the right decision, but it was probably a little bit hard for just the track conditions. They ended up watering and stuff. So a little bit safer with the front end and the bumps and stuff, and then the back would slide around a little bit more, but overall really, really safe to drive. And yeah, had a couple small mistakes there. Me and Spencer were kind of going back and forth for probably the last 6 minutes or so. Yeah, glad to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, what's it kind of like with these these E-Buggy races at these 8-scale events? It's almost like a carpet 4-wheel level sprint, but for 10 minutes. So what's that like?
Yeah, it's tough with these track conditions. They're not like the crazy big holes that we'd seen earlier in qualifying and seeding, but it's a lot of chop. So your car's kind of bouncing around always a little bit. You're not really exactly sure where it's going to go, and you're kind of along for the ride. Me and Spencer were talking afterwards, like that. I'm sure it was an exciting race to watch and stuff, but it was pretty gnarly for us to try to race and just stay out there and not be crashing every lap. So glad to get it done.
Well, congratulations to Dakota, and good luck to him for the rest of the weekend, and we will see you soon. All right, we're here with Spencer Ripken after the Pro E-Buggy main at the 2023 Silver State Nitro Challenge. Came out firing, swinging at the start of that race. Got yourself out into the lead. How was the first half of the race?
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Dakota's been so good at these races when he's able to TQ, just coming out kind of hot and kind of pulls a gap, and then he gets comfortable and everyone else kind of gets caught off guard. So I kind of learned a little bit from like the Carpet Nationals a couple weeks ago, even though it was a completely different discipline of RC car racing. My stuff's been feeling really good. We've been putting in a lot of effort. All of us kind of put in through an audible with changing to harder compound blues. I ran blue triple Ds, and yeah, the first half of the race was pretty freaking awesome battling. Honestly, the whole race was awesome. I was able to get into the lead after Dakota crash, and then with the kind of the harder compound, it seemed like it was more slidey, so some of the jumps he was able to kind of slide in and get the pass on me. I ended up kind of flipping over, but it wasn't really his fault. We both were kind of sliding in, and then Mason kind of threw a monkey wrench into the equation, and then basically just battling all the way through the last lap, which was pretty freaking awesome. This track's so hard and gnarly. People are having tons of problems with just flipping and just staying on all four. So for what basically Dakota and I and Mason were doing was pretty insane. Have a three-way car battle for 10 minutes, especially with E-Buggy with like insane power.
Yeah, and I guess the last part of this is driving kind of going into a little bit of the race psychology that you were talking about, or what you were trying to touch on is Dakota has that tendency to go really fast for the first 2 minutes, and then it's really hard for anybody to do anything. He has the ability to make a mistake and stay in the lead or stay close. So so what you were trying, or what you're saying that you were trying to do, was not give him that opportunity to breathe at the beginning, which seemed to work. He did make a mistake. You got back out to the lead. So
yeah, basically I kind of look at it as like Formula One terms, like saving the battery. It seems like he uses a lot of the battery at the beginning of the race to kind of pull a gap, which then eventually there's just not enough time, and there's not enough comfort out there to have the ability to really make up time. So it kind of he kind of exhausts people traditionally when he has that gap, and eventually just breaks everybody else by just them trying to push and crash. So he kind of it's a little bit more risky for him. And I've done it too with 10 scale. I understand how it all works, but that's just kind of the thinking behind it, which is something that I've been trying to really learn a lot more discipline with on the 8 scale side of things. Traditionally, people don't think I'm not that great of a bumpy track driver, which honestly it's difficult for me. I've been it's been very challenging for me to kind of adjust and pick lines, and watching different disciplines of racing like Supercross, which I'm not a fan of, but I do watch it. But yeah, I think it just all comes down to kind of, when you're watching races before you're up and just really seeing the kind of the lines that they're doing, and picking up on what you can and can't do, and being really disciplined. It's been a challenging weekend for a team perspective. I feel like a lot of our guys had some good opportunities coming in, but it's hard. There's a lot of good guys that weren't in the main. There was a lot of guys that were in the main that really made it happen this weekend, and that's what it's all about, is taking advantage of your opportunity.
Well, congratulations to Spencer on a second place finish. We're going to let him get back to it. He's got one more race today, and we will see you guys soon.
Yeah, thank you.
We're here with Mason Fuller, third place finisher in the Pro E-Buggy main event here at the 2023 Silver State Nitro Challenge. You had some good battles throughout the race. At the start, it looked like you were ready to get fired and going. How was the first half of the race for you?
The first half, I think I just kind of followed Spencer and Dakota, and then I made a little mistake, I think. Somehow I got in second, right? I got in second for a little bit, and then I had a little wreck, fell back to third. I was like 4 seconds back from them guys, so I was just trying to put in the laps, not make any more mistakes. And then they kind of got into a little battle. I was able to catch up to them, and then I kind of just settled for third towards the end of the race because Brandon was right there in fourth, so didn't want to make any more mistakes.
Yeah, it's like the second half of the race. It's not that you weren't right there, but it was kind of a lonely race. You were just a second too far back maybe from them, and then Brandon was a second too far back from you to really do anything. So
yeah,
we were just kind of chilling.
Yeah, we were all at the same speed, so I couldn't really catch up without making mistakes.
So what was kind of your tire choice or your game plan going into that E-Buggy race? Obviously, being only 10 minutes, it's a little bit of a different program than Nitro Buggy, or with Nitro Truggy, the tires being a whole lot bigger, it's different for that as well.
Yeah, I ran the green Triple Ds, but the track's starting to really dry out now, so we're definitely going to be switching to blues for a truck, and then, yeah.
Did you do anything with your inserts or anything like that for that one?
The buggy, no, we don't glue them, but we glue the truck.
All right, well, this was Mason Fuller, third place finisher of Pro E-Buggy here at the 2023 Silver State Nitro Challenge. We're going to let him get ready for truck, and we will see you guys soon.
And then Rick can really stand it up there. The front side double. Both of my top two and the top three get to that section. Now to the tabletop. 5 seconds before they're racing to the line. Down to the corkscrew. Into the whip section. For the final time here, Dakota